Joy Rising, everyone. Thank you for joining. Let's talk about it. Before I get started, please forgive the lighting. This the day is just starting. It's still calm outside. It'll get lighter as we, get through this video. But today I want to talk about why your appearance is so important and why you're perceived based off of your appearance. So we all know that usually if you see something or someone, I'm gonna say someone that that's not all dolled up, isn't looking all glitzy and glamourful, doesn't have on a fresh pair of sneakers, things like that. They're sometimes perceived as people that have nothing, people that don't work or that don't work hard enough, just typically seen as people in lack of something. But is that truly the case? Because I know firsthand that your looks can be perceived as something totally opposite of what and who you are. I'll give you an example. Panhandlers. We see them, they're out, they're asking for money. They're standing on the corners, the end of the freeway exits, wherever. The majority of them look homeless, run down, whatever. They may even be holding a sign. And they're automatically perceived as lazy. A lot of times people will say, why won't they just go get a job? Okay, so let's talk about it. I know it's been some years ago. I would see this one person that was panhandling all the time. And one day, we crossed paths. He asked me for some spare change. I gave it to him. I gave him my last, what I had in my pocket. I don't usually carry cash. He got lucky and I gave him what I had. Okay, and I was rushing. I was on my way to work. Well, as I'm rushing, I realized I forgot something in my car. I turn back. I head back to where my car is parked, in a parking garage, because I was working at a mall. This same man that I would see all the time begging for change, that literally just got me for my last, I seen this man pop in the trunk of a Lexus vehicle, folding his sign up and taking them scrubby clothes off and putting that stuff into the trunk of his vehicle. Yeah. Scammed by a panhandler, huh? Looks made us perceive him as homeless, broke, nothing. The reality of it is that he had more than me. Well, at least, his car was nicer than mine. I don't know. He probably had a home to go to based off of his appearance after he took the other stuff off. Yeah, he definitely had a home to go to. So, see, looks can be very, very deceiving. I'll give you another example. Just recently, I'm not a dress up type of woman. I like to be comfortable. I like to be casual. I'm a sneaker woman. And so I typically wear a lot of sneakers. In the winter and spring, I wear sweats, half tops, things like that, things that I am comfortable in. Well, recently I went to purchase a vehicle. Congratulations to me. Thank you guys. I can feel the energy. Thank you. However, I get there and the people, they're really friendly, but at the same time, these are car salesmen, so we know how they operate. Not everyone has integrity. But in this situation, my situation, I get there and I'm talking, and they point me to a price range that I looked like I was seeking without even asking. Number one. Yeah. Hey, the cars over there are in this range if you want to go check those out. Okay, thanks. Meanwhile, I'm over here looking at something else. So, when the salesman finally comes to me and he says, have you taken a look at those over there, and did you pick one? Yeah, I seen those. But I'm looking at that. That's more up my alley. That suits me. I want to test drive that. And he's looking and he says, and he says the price range. And I said, okay. And he said, well, what's your credit looking like? I said, it's pretty good. And he gave me one of those kind of looks like, yeah, right, lady, He said, yeah. Do you got a job? Yes, sir, I do. I work full time. Oh, okay, so you got your driver's license? Pull out my license. Okay, let me grab you a tag and test drive this car. Cool. Test drive the car. I like the car. So then I go back and, we're talking, and he says, well, I know you said your credit was pretty good, but do you think you'll be able to get that car? You think you'll get approved for that car? I said, well, sir, I actually didn't want to finance it. I just wanted to pay it. I just wanted to pay cash for it. And he stopped and he looked. Oh, you want to buy it outright cash? I said, yeah. He said, well, all right. Well, let's see what we can do for you. Moral of the story, I did end up being a couple dollars short. But he said, we can do in-house financing on this. That ain't nothing, because you'll have that paid in little to nothing. I said, yeah, in 30 days. Now he's looking at me because he's surprised that I'm this color. And I know what I'm talking about. I know what I want, and I'm about my business, you see. He said, well, let's see how we can, we can run this in-house finance for you. And okay, well, I said, all right. He said, I need a current pay stub. I said, how many? Just one. One will do. I guess he didn't expect me to be prepared, because you know how people like to come in with false documents. I said, well, I don't have it on me. Can I email it to you? Because I'm going to just take it right off the app. He looked at me, he said, well, sure, you can do that. He tell me to email. I go on there, I download my pay stub, and I email it to him. And when he gets it, he opens it up and he throws back a little bit. His neck literally jilted back a little bit. Yeah. You could see in his face and in his energy that that man was surprised that a woman of my ethnicity that looked like she had nothing going for herself, had a full-time job that pays pretty well, pretty decent. And then when that credit came back approved, he tried to upsell me into something more expensive. All because, oh, well, honey, did you know that you are approved for this amount? Yeah, but I don't want that. And so, needless to say, his perception of me had changed. Because, see, I went in there with my sneakers on. My hoodie and my jeans, and he thought I wasn't about my business. He thought that this was going to be just another one of those okey doke car sale situations where they was finna turn away the customer. Well, honey, no. This ain't that. You perceived me all wrong. What's the matter, sir? You ain't never seen a black woman with good credit? I look like this, but I worked for that. Yeah. So I want to know, why is your appearance so important to how you're perceived? Whether you're dressing casually versus business, whether you have on sneakers, heels, flip-flops, or slides, athletic clothing, a suit and tie. Why does it matter? It shouldn't. But that's the world that we live in. Now, see, another thing. We perceive these people, we perceive things off of the appearance and have no idea why they appeared that way. Because another thing, like I mentioned about panhandlers, another thing that I have learned, a lot of homeless people, panhandlers, people out here just asking for some help, them is former CEOs, them is former doctors and lawyers, teachers and nurses and veterans. Life events happen and circumstances change. Divorces, oh yeah, that's a big one. Health, that's a big one. Mental health, oh yeah, that's major. That's major. What about pandemics? A lot of people lost everything during the COVID and still haven't bounced back to this day. Elections, your county officials, the people that we vote for, yeah. So life-changing experiences can also alter your appearance. But that doesn't mean that you're less worthy just because you don't look the same. Yeah, that's been heavy on my brain, and I just wanted to get that out there. It doesn't really make sense to me, but you know, honestly, I feel like it's a learned behavior. Growing up, it might not even be a learned behavior. It's childish behavior. Let's just say that it's childish behaviors, because that's what children do. Children make fun of other children for not having the best the best shoes, for not having the flyest clothes, you know, for not having the latest electronic device. It's childish. I don't think it's fair to anyone in any community to be looked at and perceived as nothing. So I'm going to challenge you today, my viewers, my subscribers. First and foremost, if you're here, please like and share. Help me build my community and the algorithm so that y'all can continue to see these messages and we can interact with each other. I am humbly grateful for every last one of you. Even if you haven't subscribed yet, that's all right. Keep viewing, keep liking, come back. We'll get there, you know? But yeah, I just feel like, what's the saying, judging a book by its cover? I don't think that's right. It's very, very unfair. It's very, very unfair. And even for myself, I'm not perfect and I've done it. But because it recently happened to me, I was stereotyped. It didn't feel so good initially. It felt great at the end, though, because I was able to prove that I'm not that stereotype. Let's talk about it. Thank you for joining, guys. Have a great day.